Welcome back. No. Welcome back to me reading 2 Degrees by Alan Gratz. I'm sorry for not posting in in 11 days. I promised to post 1 or 2 days later after the video, but then I got busy with some practice and all that, and I might be going to somewhere in July, and I'll be celebrating July 4th. So those days, July 4th and July something, mid-July, I'm not going to be posting because I'll be away from home. Here's some books I might read soon, if I get them. Borderlands by La Frontera, The Deadly 1940 Alamo Train Crash, and the Alton Bus Crash. Borderlands is by Gloria Anzaldúa. The Deadly 1940 Alamo Train Crash and the Alton Bus Crash are both by Juan P. Carmona and also by Taylor Seaver de la Fuente. But let's get into the reading, shall we? Into the Fire. The top of a burning tree fell onto the road in front of the cart, and Akira ducked in fear as Daniel plowed over it. Woomph! Crunch. The little car rocked. Akira's dad yelped and threw a hand out to brace himself. On the dashboard, Sue screamed. Akira fell on the floor of the car. Seat belts! Daniel roared. Akira scrambled back up as she and Sue bent over to latch their seat belts. Akira noticed 3 shiny pinkish lines on the side of Sue's forehead. They were all half an inch long. They were all half an inch long. They're all half an inch long and ran parallel to each other before disappearing into the roots of Sue's dark hair. Scars, Akira realized with a start. But from what? The car bumped and thumped over more debris in the road, and Akira's eyes were drawn to the back of the housecape outside her window. Even though it was still morning, the world looked black as night. The only light came from the trees on either side of the road. They glowed yellow-orange, burning like someone had dumped gasoline on them and lit them with a flamethrower. The car passed by a hillside that was a sea of flames, so bright that Akira had to look away. Sweat coated the forehead and ran down her back. Her dad tried turning on the AC. All that did was blast smoke into the car, and he quickly turned it off. Danielle's phone auto-connected to the car stereo, and a pop song Akira liked started playing. She blinked at the absurdity and then glanced at Sue, who looked as astonished as she was. They had just met, and here they were riding together through a wildfire as if they were heading off to see a movie. Turn on the radio, Akira's dad said. See if we get any emergency information. Daniel mashed buttons on the big screen to the back of Sue. How do you get to the radio on this thing? I don't know, said Sue. Forget it. Just stay focused on the road, Akira's dad said. I'll come home. Home! Akira's heart thumped a steady canter in her chest. We're on Mom and Lister say howdy, okay? Akira checked the fire up, but then it's just in the parking lot. The red blob making the marking the wildfire was a long way off from her house. But what if the winds changed and the flames were moving so quickly? Akira thought of Dodger and Elwood. Had the fire caught up to them? A black hole of guilt ate her up inside, and she bent dull against the pain. How could she have let Dodger go? He was her everything. He had been hers since they were both 10 years old. She fed him and talked to him every morning and night. Took him into the trails around their house, mucked out his stall, brushed and combed his mane and tail, cleaned and conditioned his bread, his salter. Oh, Dodger. If they had had him on the first night of the wildfire, if they only hadn't taken Sue and had parking lot, a burning ember hit the windshield and burst into 1,000 light sparks. Akira jumped. More embers rattled the roof like hail. I can't get through to your mother, Akira's dad said, lowering his phone. Still looked at Akira with worried eyes, and Akira felt sick all over again. I'm sure she is all right, Sue told her. Akira hoped so. She was lucky. Her own mother was down in Fresno, far away from the fire. Akira texted her mom, we're in a stranger's car trying to drive for the fire. Watch for Dodger and Elwood. We sent them ahead. Are you okay? She hit send and waited, watching for the little dots that which showed her mother was riding back the dancing encounter, and Akira wilted. Daniel leaned forward, his eyes locked on the road ahead. It's too much. I can't see. The whole canyon's a death trap, he said, his voice shaking. He sniffed, and Akira realized Daniel was crying. Akira pulled back, more scared of hearing a grown-up cry than the world of fire outside. It's okay. We're going to be okay, Akira's dad told him. His home voice was strained and nervous. Just keep driving slow and steady. You're doing great. Daniel drove intently, his hands tight on the steering wheel. The main road acted as a natural fire break, just as Akira's dad had said it would. But the flames were so high, they scaled the pine trees and rode the wind across the other side, creating a kind of fire tunnel for the little car. Oaks and maples lit up like Christmas trees, their burning leaves glowing like strands of orange bulbs. Sometimes an entire tree trunk was on fire. The whole thing outlined in bright orange. Akira had never seen anything like it. They came a curve in the mountain road, and Daniel hit the brakes, throwing them all against their seatbelts. A dark shadow loomed ahead of them, blocking the way. Daniel inched closer to the thing in the smoke, and at last Akira was able to make out what it was. It was a car, half on, half out of the road. Its front end was stuck in a ditch, and its back end hung in the air, and it was on fire. A metal car was on fire. Okay, so the next chapter I'm going to be reading, which is probably tomorrow or Monday, or it's going to be Sunday or Monday, either way. The chapter is going to be called the Car in the Ditch. And this recording, I am aware that this recording is probably way too long, and it's actually 7 minutes long, which is probably my longest reading ever yet. Sorry for the 1 minute long intro, because I wanted to update how everything's going. And, see you next time. See you next time on me reading 2 Degrees by Gratz. And by the way, The Car in the Ditch is the last chapter of Part 1, the Sierra Nevada, California. So, once I'm done with reading Car in the Ditch, you're gonna see the Part 1 Churchill, Manitoba. But that's gonna be later.